everyone! Welcome to my channel. So, bago po tayo mag-proceed sa ating discussion for today, dahil po itong aking kauna-unahang vlog, magpapakilala po muna ako sa inyo. I am Maricel Bornilla. I am a businesswoman and also a Japanese language teacher. Kaya pwede niyo akong tawaging Maricel Sensei. I have been teaching Japanese language since 2008 at various institutions, schools, companies here in the Philippines. Yung mga videos na i-share ko sa inyo will be mostly about Japanese language lessons. So I'm going to teach you grammar, vocabularies, how to read and write Japanese characters, Japanese cultures, and marami pa pong iba. So abangan niyo po yun. So for those people who are interested to learn Japanese language, and for those who are planning to take Japanese language proficiency test or Nihongo no Ryokushiken, so sana makatulong po yung mga videos na i-share ko sa inyo and sana magamit nyo siya as one of your resources sa pag-aaral nyo po ng Nihongo. Okay, so that's it. Let's proceed now to our discussion. Kanina, I started my vlog with a very short self-introduction kasi actually, related dyan ang pag-uusapan natin today. So I am going to teach you the proper way of introducing oneself in Japanese or yung tinatawag nating Jiko Shoukai. Jiko meaning self or oneself. Shoukai means introduce or introduction. So, Jiko Shoukai means self-introduction. Tandaan, if you're going to study, visit, or work in Japan, napakahalagang matutunan natin yung tamang pagpapakilala ng sarili in Japanese. Because in almost all contexts, whenever you meet new people or group of people, you will be asked to introduce yourself. So, dapat ready tayo. We also need to be very careful kasi meron tayong tinatawag na cultural differences wherein may mga bagay na in our society, pwede mo siyang gawin or sabihin, pero pagdating mo sa Japanese society, they're not acceptable or sometimes rude for them pagka siya yung ginawa mo. So, dapat aware tayo sa mga bagay na yun. Remember, first impression lasts. So, you really have to learn the proper way of introducing yourself. So, ready na ba kayong matuto? If you're ready, let's start. Okay, so start your Jiko Shoukai with a greeting. So, actually, ang dami nating greetings in Japanese na pwede nyo magamit dito. So, meron akong lesson about dyan, so abangan nyo yun. Okay, so however, the most commonly used greeting in Japanese for Jiko Shoukai is this one. Hajimemashite. Okay? Kinig ng mabuti. Hajimemashite. One more. Hajimemashite. Okay? If you notice, this one, hindi ko siya pronounce as shi. Instead, I pronounce this as sh. Hajimemashite. So, nawala yung I. So, ang tawag dyan ay vowel devoicing. So, I won't discuss vowel devoicing here in this video. So, meron akong separate discussion about that. So, abangan nyo din yun. Okay, so for now, just take note of the pronunciation. So, one more. Hajimemashite. Okay, so pakinggan nyo rin yung intonation. Okay, pagtaas, pagbaba ng tono. Okay, so listen carefully. Hajimemashite. Hajimemashite. So, umangat, bumaba, umangat, bumaba. Sa Japanese, okay, usually, ang intonation sa Japanese usually flat. Okay, so kung aangat man, usually bababa siya at the end. Bihira siyang umangat, maliban na lang if they are asking questions. Sumimasen, ano ba yawa, nandes ka? So that's the time na aangat yung tono. Okay, or they want to express emotions or feeling of surprise. Ha! Sugoi desu ne! Yun, that's the time na aangat. But madalas talaga siya ay flat. Or kung aangat man, sa dulo ay bababa. So therefore, hindi po pwede yung ating hajimemashite! Diba? Sa atin, para magmukha tayong alive, diba inaangat natin yung tono. Hello everyone! So yun yung kaibahan sa Japanese. So sa Japanese, napakahalaga ang intonation or sa iba ang tawag dito ay pitch accent. Okay, so pakinggan mabuti. Sabay-sabay tayo. Hajimemashite. One last. Hajimemashite. Okay, so ang hajimemashite, it means sa ibang libro, Ang translation nito ay how do you do? Okay? However, if you take a look at the word hajimemashite, it comes from the word hajime. So, meaning first. So, therefore, hajimemashite means this is the first time to meet you. Next, after greeting, state your name. So, we have watashi wa, full name, and then des. So, in my case, isa-substitute ko lang yung aking pangalan, Maricel Bornilla. So, watashi wa Maricel Bornilla desu. Watashi wa Maricel Bornilla desu. Okay, so take note. If you're delivering your Jiko Shoukai, make sure to speak not too slow or not too fast. Okay? However, pagdating sa part na bibigkasin mo na yung iyong pangalan, since ang ating pangalan ay foreign for the Japanese people, so they are not familiar with foreign names. So make sure na medyo speak a little slower. So medyo bagalan yung pagsasalita for them to understand and remember you. Para mas lalong matandaan ng Japanese ang iyong pangalan, okay? So pronounce your name the Japanese way. Okay? So, in my case, yung Maricel Bornilla, magiging siyang Maricel Bornilla. Watashi wa Maricel Bornilla desu. Don't worry if hindi nyo pa alam kung paano siya gawin. Kasi, okay, later on, meron din akong video about that. Tuturuan ko kayo kung paano i-transform at paano isulat ang inyong pangalan in Japanese. So, for now, just take note of this. Okay, so next. Okay. So, note number 3. So, in Japanese culture, okay, sa kanila talaga, nauuna ang surname. And then, first name afterward. So, example, yung aking favorite singer na si Takeuchi Maria. So, yung Takeuchi is her surname, and then Maria, first name. Okay? So, sa atin naman, as foreigner, so nauuna naman sa atin yung ating pangalan. And then, surname afterward. So, Maricel is my first name, and Bornilla is my surname. Sensei, question. What if I'm applying for a job in Japan and then they ask me to introduce myself? So, ano pong uunahin ko? Surname po or first name? That's a very good question. So, traditionally or dati, yung mga foreigner, they adjust or follow the Japanese culture. So, when they introduce themselves, nauuna talaga ang surname and then yung first name afterward. Okay, so however, yung mga Japanese nowadays, they're already aware of the foreign or Western culture. So, pag sinabi kong foreign or foreigner, ang tinutukoy ko dyan, we are foreigner for Japanese people. Okay? So, alam na nila na pag foreigner, nauuna talaga yung first name and then nauhuli yung surname. Kaya it's okay na unahin mo yung iyong first name and then surname after. Okay, another thing. So, Japanese do not have middle initial. So, this concept is not legally recognized in Japan. So, pag nagpakilala kayo ng inyong sarili, do not include your middle initial kasi Japanese will not be able to relate. Okay? Next, note number 5. So, for people with very long name. So, example, ganito ang pangalan mo. Mary Rose and Samantha Faye Bornilla, na parang halos lahat yata ng buong kapamilya ay gusto na ipangalan sa iyo. Okay? So, kung ganito kahaba ang iyong pangalan, wag mo nang sabihin lahat. At hindi ka naman yan maaalala. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo, pili ka ng isa or dalawa, yung pinakamadaling matandaan dyan sa pangalan mo. So, example, Anne Bornilla. Okay? Or Mary Rose Bornilla. Di ba? Mas madali siyang tandaan. Okay, so moving on. Okay, let's go to this one, watashi. So, watashi means I or ako. And then followed by wa. So, this is a particle that functions as topic marker. So, meaning the word before wa is the topic of the sentence. So, dito sa sentence na ito, ang pinag-uusapan or yung topic ay watashi or I. Okay, next is des. Des. Take note, hindi ko pronounce yung U sa dulo, hindi siya desu, kundi des. Okay. So, si Des, hindi ko na siya i-discuss further here. So, sa ibang video ko siya i-discuss further. Sa ngayon, isipin nyo na lang na siya ay talagang parte nitong buong sentence pattern na ito. Okay? Kasi meron tayong iba't ibang sentence patterns in Japanese. Ituturo ko yan sa inyo pag nag-discuss na ako ng grammar. Okay? Another thing, so for those sentences that end with des, isipin nyo na lang na yung may des, mas polite siya compared sa tinanggal yung des. Okay? So, dahil ito ay self-introduction, we need to be polite. Kaya we end our sentence with des. So, let's read this once again. Watashi wa Maricel Bornilla desu. It means, I am Maricel Bornilla. Okay, so this pattern, we have a shorter version of this one. So, actually, pwede mong tanggalin itong topic and then the topic marker. Or itong watashi and the particle wa. Pwede mo na siyang i-omit. So, ang matitira na lang ay name des or Maricel Bornilla des. Actually, itong shorter version, ito yung mas natural for Japanese. So, Japanese people would usually omit the topic, especially if it is already obvious from the context or clear na sa kausap or listener kung ano or sino ang pinag-uusapan. So, in this case, since ito nga ay self-introduction, it is obvious na wala tayong magiging ibang topic kundi watashi or I. So, Maricel Bornilla des will still be translated as I am Maricel Bornilla. Okay, so next, after stating your name, let's proceed down to number 3. Associate yourself with a bigger group. So, mas madali kang maaalala kung i-associate mo yung sarili mo sa mas malaking grupo. Kasi, what if ang dami yung Maricel doon sa isang event? Diba? Hindi ka matatandaan. Sino nga bang Maricel? Diba? Pero kung sinabi mong ako si Maricel ng Batangas or ako si Maricel ng Pilipinas, diba? Mas madali kang matatandaan. Okay? So, here's the pattern. So, place or country and then karakimashita. Karakimashita. One more. Karakimashita. So, yung dito, take note. Meron na naman ditong vowel devoicing. Kimashita. Kimashita. Okay. So, kara means from. Kimashita means came. Karakimashita means came from. So, I came from this place. I came from this country. Okay, so dito, substitute nyo na lang yung place where you came from. So, example, in my case, I came from Batangas. So, I'll put here, Batangas. Okay? So, Batangas karakimashita. Okay, pero kung ang setting ninyo ay nasa Japan kayo, okay? So, better to use the name of your country. So, Philippines is Philippine in Japanese. So, Philippine karakimashita. Philippine karakimashita. Meaning, I came from Philippines. Next, after that, number 4, you end your Jiko Shoukai with Dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. One more. Dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Okay, dahil sobrang haba ito, isa-isahin natin. So, here, take note. Okay? Dozo. Okay? Dozo. So, hindi siya dozo. So, we do not pronounce u. So, later on, pag nag-discuss ako ng long sound and short sound, so, doon nyo maiintindihan bakit hindi pronounce si u. So, for now, just take note of the pronunciation. Just prolong do. Dozo. Sabay-sabay tayo. Dozo. Next, yoroshiku. One more. Yoroshiku. So, meron na naman ditong vowel devoicing. One last. Yoroshiku. And then last. So, ito medyo mahaba ito. So, please listen carefully. Onegai shimasu. Onegai shimasu. Take note, etong last, hindi ko siya pronounce as onegai shimasu. Okay? So, papasok na naman dito yung ating vowel devoicing. So, one more. Onegai shimasu. Okay? So, this one, when we write this in Japanese character, ganitong itsura niya. Okay? So, oops, wag mo na kayo magpapanik ha. It's okay kung hindi mo pa siya kayang basahin. So, may gusto lang akong i-emphasize dito. Okay? So, this one is onegaishimasu. Onegaishimasu. So, this character, this one, okay? This is ga. Okay? Kaya lang, meron pa siyang isang way to read this character. Pwede rin siyang nga. Okay? So, therefore, this word, pwede siyang basahing onegaishimasu or onegaishimasu. So, pwede mong gamitin yung ga, which is voiced sound, or yung nga, which is voiced nasal sound. Okay? So, sabay-sabay tayo. One more. Gamitin muna natin yung voiced. Onegaishimasu. One more. Onegaishimasu. Then, let's use the voiced nasal. Onegaishimasu. One more. Onegaishimasu. Okay. So, however, hindi lahat ng oras pwede mong palitan si ga with nga. Okay? So, meron tayong rule for that. Okay? So, ito yung rules. Okay? If ga or if this character is located in the middle of the word, okay? Or kagaya nitong onegaishimasu, di ba nasa gitna siya? Okay? Or if ga or this character is being used as particle. So, kagaya nung wa kanina, di ba? Particle siya. So, may ganyang gamit din si ga. Okay? This character can be pronounced as ga or nga. Okay? So, pag nasa gitna or pag ginagamit siya as particle, pwedeng ang pronunciation mo noon nitong character na ito ay ga or nga. However, if this character or this ga is located at the beginning of the word. Example, gakse. Okay? Di ba nasa unahan siya? Itong character na ito, ga ay nasa unahan. Okay? So, wala kang ibang magiging pronunciation yan kundi ga. Therefore, ang basa nito ay walang iba kundi gakse. Gakse. Meaning student. Okay? So, that's the rule. Kung pwede naman palang puro na lang ga, so, bakit hindi na lang ga ang gamitin at wag na natin gamitin si nga, di ba? Para hindi confusing. Okay? Actually, ganito yan. Okay? So, itong nga kasi, nga is exclusively being used dito sa Kanto, sa Tohoku region, or sa Eastern or Northeastern Japan. So, dito yan, sa medyo taas. Dito sa medyo taas. Okay? So, specifically, dito sa Tokyo. So, sa kanila, okay, ang ginagamit talaga ay nga. So, actually, Tokyo Japanese is considered as the standard Japanese. So, siya yung standard. Kaya nga yung mga announcer, TV reporter, anchor, okay? So, ang ginagamit nila ay nga. Okay? Onegaishimasu. So, in fact, they undergo training para ma-perfect nila yung voice nasal sound. Okay? So, kaya lang, pagdating naman sa western or southwestern part of Japan, hindi naman nag-exist yung nga, kagaya dito sa Osaka. Okay? So, dito yan sa part na yan. So, hindi naman nila kilala or hindi naman nila kaya yung nga. Okay? Sa kanila naman, ang nag-exist ay ga. Ngayon, kung tatanungin nyo ako kung alin ba ang mas okay gamitin, si nga or si ga, kahit alin dyan, pwede nyong gamitin. So, it's up to you kung alin mas convenient para sa inyo. But sa akin, siguro mas sanay ako or I prefer using the standard Japanese. So, for the last time, let's now read this one. So, sabay-sabay tayo. Let's use first the voice sound. Okay? Dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Okay, now let's use the voice nasal. Let's go. Dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. So this one, usually ang translation niya ay, pleased to meet you, nice to meet you, However, according to my mentor, or yung aking idol sensei, so shout out to you, Edwin Mojica Sensei, hello! So, siya yung idol kong teacher. Okay? So, according to him, the best translation for this one is, I hope you will extend your favors towards me. So, in short, please be nice to me. That's it. Before we finally end, try muna natin from the top. Okay? So, let's go. Hajimemashite, Maricel Bornilla desu. フィリピンから来ました。どうぞよろしくお願いします。Ayan, marunong na kayong mag-Jiko Shoukai. So, i-master nyo na lang yung itinuro ko sa inyo. Okay? So, by the way, yung itinuro ko sa inyo is just the very, very basic self-introduction. So, pag marami na kayong alam na vocabularies, pwede nyo siyang dagdagan ng information, pwede nyo siyang i-improve. Okay? But, I suggest, just make your self-introduction short and simple. Anyway, Japanese will just ask you questions if they want to know more about you. So, by the way, meron tayong part 2. Okay, dun sa part 2, ituturo ko naman sa inyo paano yung tamang delivery, paano yung tamang execution. So, after watching this one, proceed watching part 2. Okay? So, kung marami kayong natutunan and kung nagustuhan nyo yung ating discussion today, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell para you will be notified whenever we have new videos. Okay? So, i-share nyo na rin sa inyong mga friends na gustong matuto ng Japanese. So, thank you so much for watching. See you on my next video. Thank you!